93 Ticket and the ticketfm.com.
What? Man, we back. Get your happy on hour. 93.7 The Ticket. Welcome to the show, everybody. And I really appreciate the fact that you guys are tuning in, man. And I've been getting a lot of messages letting me know that y'all are tuning in. Appreciate that. I got Bach in the house with me tonight, too. So, man, look at him. We got a special guest. But before we get started with the special guest, I got to talk to y'all for a second. Humble. Grateful. That's how I describe how I feel right now. I mean, I'm feeling very humble, very grateful for everything that I do have. And I choose not to complain about what I don't have because it doesn't seem to help very much. You know, I think if more people would take that approach, I think it might help them deal with their day. Not that it's going to make all your problems go away, but at least it'll give you something positive to get your day started with. We had the Omaha Film Festival Thursday night. And that's a big part of why I'm feeling very humble today because, man, people showed up and then we watched the documentary, the Look Like Somebody documentary. And also we had a Q&A session and that went really well. And I'm just feeling very grateful that it went as well as it did and people were open to it. So that's one more reason why I'm humble. I have a ton of them, but that's just the main one right now. But hey, what's been happening with you, man?
Oh, not too much. Getting our lost an hour of sleep, I suppose. So I'm still trying to adjust to that.
See that y'all need to adopt the Ricky style, man. Go to bed about 6 o'clock every day year round, and you know what? Sleep don't ever be a problem.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I just I stay up to watch sports a lot. So,
Okay. Well, see, I figured out the secret to that. Much as I enjoy watching, I just watch Sports Center.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
That
just
way,
get the highlights.
Get the highlights, man. Because sometimes they kind of drag me out, and I end up sleeping on a lot of them anyway. So
Yeah.
Sports Center's better. Well, you know, I got a guest tonight that I'm very excited to have, and I'm just going to get right into it. Jenna Rose, how are you doing?
I'm doing really well. Thank you.
Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
And before we get started with the interview, I gotta ask this question. Well, first, let me say thank you. Thank you for showing up at the Omaha Film Festival and watching the documentary. And you had to drive quite a ways to be there. So I am very, very appreciative of that. And I just don't want that to be taken for granted because a lot of people drove 30 minutes. Some people drove 45 minutes. I think you drove, how long did it take you to get there?
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half. See, that's big. So thank you again so much. Well, what did you think of it?
You know, I'm someone who has had the opportunity to work with Coach Osborne on a documentary for his teammates program.
Okay.
I think I have an even more unique perspective to add to this, and hopefully you'll take my words and really take them to heart. And that I really loved it. It was very touching, and I really appreciated your vulnerability to create something like this. And I know the time that it takes to create something like this as well.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that because I know you know about that part.
Yeah, you really had to commit some serious time to it. But I was really touched by the gentleman that you spoke to, that the one who was in prison, and sharing his story and how he reached out to you and just said what a difference you made in his life. And you know that he was an example of so many people that you've touched.
You know, that I appreciate that, you know, but I think what really gets me is, and I hear this from a lot of different people, so I'm starting to buy into it, but, you know, there's this saying that you never know who you have an impact on, and I really don't. I mean, I just do what I do, but, you know, I've heard several times that Ricky, you're impacting more people than you know, and I'm gonna take that as a good thing.
Absolutely, and I think it's incredibly relatable. And I say that because no matter what your struggle is, right? Whether it be drugs, alcohol, some kind of addiction, maybe relationships, people pleasing, anything under the sun.
Right.
Everybody has a struggle, and they have the opportunity to really take the lessons that they've learned from that and make an impact on other people's lives if they want to do that, or they can choose not to. And you chose to. And I think it says a lot about your character that you did that.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I got this belief that if you just put it out there, it takes away the sting. It is what it is. I mean, I'm not saying I'm real proud of it, but if it will help someone not make those choices, I think it was worth putting out there.
What was that moment that had you say, you know what, I'm going to take all of this bad and I'm going to do some good with it? When was that?
I think that moment came shortly after I got the letter from Coach Osborne in prison, and it just basically inspired me to know that somebody really believed in me, still believed in me, I should say, and I thought about it. I was like, well, one day they're going to let me go, and when they do, I got a choice. I can continue down this path that may bring me back, or I can turn this into a positive and maybe help someone else not make these choices. And after I decided on that, I prayed about it, and I just never looked back.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you again for coming, to the film festival. That means the world to me. I want to know who Jenna Rhodes is, because I'm very interested in, you grew up in a small town. And
on a farm.
Yeah, well, I mean, the town that I'm not trying to be difficult here, but that town, I don't even know if you guys had a red light. I mean, tell us where you grew up.
So I grew up on a farm north of Exeter, Nebraska.
Okay.
We have a Casey's.
Oh, man, y'all moving on up. They're doing big things.
A grocery store, a wonderful bank, lots of different businesses, but it is a population 600. So
600.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
And that's currently, or is that
It's currently around that.
around 600? Wow. Yeah.
Mhm.
So you grew up going to, what school did you go to?
So I went to Exeter, Milligan.
You know what? I know where that is. I
Yeah.
spoke there before. Oh, okay. In October, actually. So now, when you went to school there, what did you do? Did you play sports or?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So when you go to a small school, you do everything, because if everyone doesn't participate in all the activities don't happen, right? So that could have been anything from all the different sports to quiz bowl, one act play, choir, band, volleyball, basketball, track.
So you did it. You had to do it all.
Mm-hmm.
And growing once you got to high school, did you continue playing all the sports then, or what did you do?
Yep. So started a little bit in junior high and then played those in high school. Also did softball in the summers. So
Wow.
all the surrounding towns would play each other. And I started playing softball with the same group of girls since I was 5 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you guys just really close-knit little group.
Yes. And I had a really special class. A lot of people tell you that we really pushed each other. And
Okay.
truth be told, the only peer pressure I faced was getting good grades. I
Oh, wow.
mean,
Okay.
I was super blessed. And we said there was something in the water that
Mhm.
had us really push each other like that. But I know that's not everybody's story, and I'm just incredibly glad.
Just
that
out of
was mine.
curiosity, how big was your class?
Yes.
Just curious.
Guess how many people I had in my
Oh,
class.
man, 600 population, so I'm guessing. I don't know. I don't want to guess.
Okay, so my class was consolidated by the
Okay.
time I graduated with
Okay.
Milligan.
Okay.
And so together we had 27.
Wow, in your graduating class.
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not laughing at you. It's just that's hard for me to wrap my mind around, because I have had classes, that were much, much, much larger. So, and
Then how many did you have?
I think we
graduating
had
class?
over 1,200,
Whew.
in my senior class. So 27 is kind of like, that's a group that I hung out with. But anyway, so after high school, then what happened?
So I went to Nebraska Wesleyan.
Oh, okay.
I
What
chose
the
a smaller college because I had a smaller high school class. So
Gotcha.
went from 27 to 400 in my class at
Oh, man,
Wesleyan.
you moved up.
Big city, big
You
experience.
got more than one Casey's in Lincoln.
Yeah, just down the street. Actually, we're not too far from Wesleyan right now, are we? So I majored in history and Spanish while I was there.
Okay. Did you play any sports at
You know, I
Wesleyan?
did some intramurals, did a
Okay.
little volleyball here and there,
Oh,
but no, it didn't. I was in a band for a while, played
okay.
clarinet.
Okay.
So we did a trip to Europe in
Wow.
2008. That was really fun.
So you're talented then. Okay. Small town got talent, Jake.
We did some busking in a
No,
train station. Do
no,
you know what that is?
no, I do not.
That's where you open up the guitar case and you play on the street corner for money. It's called busking.
You did that where?
So our band did that
Where?
when we were in Europe at a train station. Yeah, in Switzerland.
Wow.
Yep, opened up the tuba case and we made 50 euros. And our band director said, I'm not entirely sure we're supposed to do this according to university policy, but don't say anything.
Yeah, well, if they don't know, it can't hurt
And
them.
we used the money for a pizza party for the group. So it was awesome.
Wow. I
Yeah.
mean I learned something new every day, every day, but that's something I've never heard before.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, you finished up at Wesleyan,
Mm-hmm.
and then what happened
And then I sold power tools because
then? Power
that's
tools.
what every history and Spanish major does, right?
Wait a minute. I'm lost. Mark, help me with this, man. Hold on. Wait a minute. You finished up and you start selling power tools.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to. You
Oh,
got to walk me through this. Now,
okay.
how did you go from graduating Wesleyan to selling power tools? I'm just curious.
Well, I was taking 21 credits senior year to try to finish with 2 majors. I'd studied abroad in Costa Rica for a while as well. So,
Okay.
so anyway, I was trying to graduate in 4 years and was reading and writing just constantly. And I
Mhm.
needed a little bit of a break from academia. And so one of my friends, Melanie, had said that she loved working for DeWalt, a power tool company. And she said, why don't you just interview with them for fun? And I said, well, I don't really know anything about power tools, but sure, I'll do it for fun. And of course, when you're not nervous, you tend to do pretty well, right?
Right. Yeah,
Nothing to lose.
yeah, right.
And so they sent me to a second round and then a third round. They flew me to Baltimore and wined and dined me, and I ended up saying yes.
Mark, what'd you think about that?
It's a surprising path.
Yeah, I mean,
Very
I
much
knew
so.
I was gonna learn something tonight. I mean, but I wasn't expecting to learn this. But that's okay. That's all right. So
Yeah.
keep going. What happened after the power tool selling?
So I moved to Kansas City and
Okay.
I was out on job sites calling on end users. I was also working with distributors. So if you went in to buy power tool on the shelf, I was the one creating the discounts and deals that you would take advantage of
Okay. For DeWalt.
for DeWalt.
Okay.
And then I was out on the job site showing the latest, greatest power tools, doing safety demos in a hard hat, safety vest, steel-toed boots, the whole get up.
How long did you do this?
About 10 years.
Really?
Yeah, a big part of my life.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah.
Man. Well, that brings me to my next question. After that,
So, COVID shook up a lot of people's lives, right?
correct.
And during that time, DeWalt didn't want to lay anybody off. And so they said, why don't you guys take Fridays off? We'll take 20% of your salary and just find something else to do. And in that process, everybody got to keep their job, right? So we were all
Okay.
grateful for that, but I had some extra time on my hands. And my brother had started this company called Grindstone and he did this video production with that. And so I said, hey, Landon, I've got some time on Fridays. Why don't we just take a look and see what it might look like to work together on this?
Mhm.
Because I was really intrigued by what he was doing and super proud of him. But certainly I had a really good thing when we went to Walt that I
Right.
wasn't just going to jump into cold turkey. So it was those Fridays that helped us realize that, wow, we kind of got something here that I think will work.
So now you've been doing this with your brother full time now. Is that correct?
For almost 2 years.
For 2 years. And I heard you mention you had done something with Coach Osborne. What else
Yeah.
have you guys been doing?
Oh my gosh. All kinds of fun projects. We actually just finished a project with the Confectionery Foundation. So
What is that?
if you think of all the big candy companies that you're familiar with, Hershey, Mars, so they make
Yeah,
Snickers,
right,
Butterfinger.
right.
So we had the opportunity to film with them.
Wow.
Yes, and the whole purpose of this project was to get kids excited about candy manufacturing.
Huh.
Mhm.
Man, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So when you do these, are these like long projects or are these something you guys do pretty quick or what?
Sometimes it's both, right?
Okay.
So for these candy projects, we would go in the same day, film all the B-roll and all the interviews in the same day and go on to the next one. But with the documentary with Coach Osborne, that took over a year to produce.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
because you're following a student over time.
And now that one you did for Coach Osborne, was that about, you said teammates?
Mhm.
So, tell me how that even came about. How did y'all even get that
Yeah.
opportunity?
They reached out to us and, wanted us to bid the project and had heard about us through the grapevine, and
Mhm.
so I sat down and we came up with a game plan with Hannah, their marketing, director there, and it was one of the coolest projects in my whole life. We
Now when you did that, it took a year, so you
so
guys had to go to a lot of different locations.
Mhm. Yeah,
How was it working with
coolest thing ever. I mean,
Coach?
here's the interview.
The coolest thing ever.
Coach Osborne and Nancy at Memorial Stadium. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
does it get any cooler than that?
Yeah, yeah, I guess you got a point there. I won't challenge that.
You know, and what's really beautiful is, learning what Nancy did to bring that program to life,
Mhm.
because, of course, Coach Osborne gets a lot of the credit, but I wanna give credit where credit's due to Nancy, things that she
Well,
did
let's
for the
let's
program.
talk about that. So,
Yeah.
'cause I don't know all the stuff that she did, so you
Yeah,
can educate me on that too. Talk to me about Nancy's role.
yeah, so she saw a 60 Minutes episode. This gentleman on the East Coast was investing in youth there in New York,
Mhm.
and, he basically told these kids, "If you graduate from high school, I'll pay for your education."
Wow.
And so she saw this on 60 Minutes and was really inspired and said, you know, "Tom, why don't we look at investing in kids here in our area?" And that's when he thought, "Well, let's get the team involved, right? And let's get the team to become mentors for students in the area." And that's how Teammates was born.
Well, it's done definitely taken off
Yeah.
since then. I mean,
Yep.
I,
And
uh, I see teammates they're even out of state now. I mean, because I know it was
yep.
just in Nebraska originally.
Yep. And we did go out of state to film.
What?
Yeah,
Where'd you
we
guys
did.
go?
Up to Sioux City.
Sioux Sa Oh,
Sioux
okay.
Falls, sorry. Sioux
Sioux
Falls.
Falls? Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
Yep. Up
So,
there.
how was that experience, though?
It was awesome, and I remember, when I was interviewing Nancy, one of the things she said to me, she said that, you know, Tom always had the team, right?
Right.
And, the team and all of that took so much of his time,
Mhm.
and, Teammates was something that she and Tom could share together, and that was really special to her.
I can
Yeah.
see that 'cause I'm guilty. I was part of that taking up his time.
You know.
I did. I was probably taking up more time than I needed to, but, hey, I was trying to get something accomplished, and Coach Osborne, a lot of times, to his credit, I have to say that playing for him was really quite an experience too because, a lot of head coaches, especially with the prestige that he had when I got here, you know, they were kinda, make an appointment, I'll talk to you when I can, but he wasn't like that,
Yeah.
and sometimes he had a lot of people to deal with naturally, but, I mean, even after he was done dealing with all his responsibilities, he made himself available to the players, and I was being from Texas, I was homesick, so, I got a million questions every day, and he always was very patient and understanding, so I can honestly say I took away a lot of Nancy's time too, because he probably coulda got home sooner if he hadn't have been dealing with me.
And I just had such a deep appreciation for both of them, right? And the
Mhm.
sacrifice that they made, not just daily, over the course of years,
Right,
for all the players and
yeah.
everybody they impacted in the community. So,
They have done so much good,
yeah,
and still are to this very day, but, I mean, just the fact that I think the humility factor I was talking about at the beginning of the show, being humble and grateful, I think that pretty much sums him up because he's a very humble man, and he don't have to be.
No.
Yeah, I mean, but he makes time for people even when he doesn't have to do that. So that's one of the traits that I've taken from him, and I've tried to use that as a benefit.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it was just an honor to be in his presence and get that
Yeah.
opportunity to interview him and Nancy, and something I'll never forget.
Well, one thing I'll say about Coach Osborne, he's a good person, and he's even a better man. He, like I said, he just goes out of his way to help others, and in our society today, that's just rare.
Yeah.
Everybody is, which I understand. You got to do what you got to do to make it for yourself, but he really puts himself behind a lot of people instead of putting himself in front. Well, hey, listen, we're going to take a quick break here, but we're going to come back because I got more questions for you. So, hey, everybody, stay tuned. 93.7 The Ticket to get you happy on out. We'll be right back.
Acton Plumbing, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Max 10 for men. Bye-bye golfer lines and t-shirt 10s. Take it to the max at Max 10. Get a 30-day pass, just $25. With stand-ups and laydowns for men of stature. Be a Max 10 man. Get 30 days for just $25 now at all 4 Lincoln Max 10 locations.
Hi, Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it is Truck Month at Koppel, and we are pulling out all of the stops for this gigantic event. The lots are starting to fill, and we have some great deals for you waiting in Louisville. Brand new GMC Sierra light duty Silverado light-duty trucks. All trim levels have up to $4,000 in discounts. That's right, up to $4,000 off all new light-duty trim now at Koppel, so do not wait. Now is the time to buy a new truck, so stop on in or visit us online at koppelcars.com. You must have a trade-in and finance with Koppel. All deals with approved credit.
Are you ready for $0 cost individual employee health insurance? How about company-paid life insurance? What about on-the-job paid training? Difference today. Join Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer, at our upcoming career fairs. Chat one-on-one with our team to hear what it's really like to work with us. Career fairs will be held at Landmark locations March 14th in Fairfield, March 16th in Hebron, March 21st in Holdridge, and March 22nd in Marysville, Kansas, and March 23rd in Beatrice, Nebraska. See more details at www.landmark.careers.
There's a lot of but overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
My husband and I love to live in Nebraska.
It's the good life.
We always vacation here.
Love those Nebraska state parks.
We love to eat here.
Where are you going to get a better steak?
And we love to play here, especially Nebraska Pick 5 from the Nebraska Lottery. It has a $50,000 starting jackpot, drawing 7 days a week, and all the proceeds go back to our state.
Hey, honey, this weekend, let's buy some Nebraska Pick 5 to go to a state park and grill some steak.
Like our first date.
I'm no amateur.
Top prize odds 1 in 501,000. One of the Nebraska Lottery's most explosively fun promotions back. Cash Blast. Until April 18th, buy a 2x2 ticket, enter the voucher number, and you could win $5,000 or $500. If your winning voucher is from a 7-day draw ticket or a multiple 7 ticket, your prize is doubled. There will be 7 weekly drawings and 14 total winners in Cash Blast. So play today. You'll have a blast. But that goes without saying. 2x2 top prize odds 1 in 105,000.
This is Jay Foreman. When I played football for Nebraska and in the NFL, I wore protective gear to safeguard my health. Today, I'm not only protecting my health, but everyone in our community by staying up to date with the bivalent COVID vaccine. Update your protection with the bivalent COVID vaccine while it's still free. Find out more at healthylincoln.org. That's healthylincoln.org.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. And at the Mercado Day at 84th and Havelock, or visit mercado.com to see current.
Back to the Get Your Happy On Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What? We're back. Hey, before we get started, back in on Jenny, I got a question for Bach. What you got over there, man? It's like you reading something. What you got going on, man?
Yeah, we just wanted to give a shout out for the Lincoln Center Kiwanis. Lincoln Center Kiwanis is a volunteer group that improves the world one child and one community at a time. Learn how you can join the club and serve the local community today at lincoln-center-ne.kiwanis1.org. So
Wow.
Shout out to Lincoln Center Kiwanis.
Big shout out to Kiwanis, man. You know what? Y'all doing big things, huh? Okay, that's all good. Well, look at here. I got to get back to my guest right quick because she was in Kansas City with selling power tools, and she ended up some kind of way coming back to Nebraska. Now, how did this all happen? And there was a house or something you got a house through this process? How did you talk to me? Tell me what happened.
Yep. So when I made the decision to come back to Nebraska, and I was still working for DeWalt remotely, but had the intention to work with my brother full time eventually. But I had to sell my house in Kansas City, and I had two offers on my house, and one was $600 less than the other. And call it Holy Spirit tapping on my shoulder, saying, "Take the lower offer, leave the one that's $600 higher on the table." It was loud and clear.
Yeah, that's strange because people don't do that.
Well, $600 is $600.
Yeah, right, exactly.
But I listened and got a call from my agent who said, "Just talk to the other agent, and the people who got your house are just in tears. They're just crying." And she said that this was their 7th house that they had tried to get. And the reason they were moving is because they had just lost their baby. He was 2 weeks old. Who had died in the NICU, and they couldn't bear to be in their house in the same town. And so they were looking for a home in the same area. And that's where my house was. And so I wanted to know who these people were and just know their story. And so I was looking at Facebook, and I happened to see a post about their baby girl who had died. And I noticed that she had died 13 weeks. She was born 13 weeks premature on my birthday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And of course, then I tear up and start crying. And I just thought, man, when you're obedient to God and Holy Spirit, just the amazing things that can happen. So I actually got to hand them the keys to the house. Yep.
Man, that's special.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is special. I like that.
And it was also a sign for me that, coming back to Nebraska was the right decision, and timing and all of that was perfect. And here we are.
So you came back to the big state, and you end up getting a house here?
Yep. So my parents had a place a couple miles south of their house that's part of our family farm. And that became available about the time that I wanted to come back. And so I helped them make some renovations to the house, and that's where I'm residing now. So just in a farmhouse north of Exeter.
So you're back on the farm. You started on the farm, you're back on the farm.
Yep.
That's all right though. You know what though? I'm glad to see that you share your beliefs. I think that's something that's missing. I try not to force it on people, but when people acknowledge it on their own, I mean, I'm with that because I'm the same way. I believe. Yep. I don't try to force anyone else to, but I think it's important to have faith.
Yeah, I have a cool story about that too.
Okay, well, why don't you share that with us?
Yeah, so I was on a plane one time, and I was reading this book called Praying for Strangers. And it was written by this woman named River Jordan, who had 2 sons overseas in the military. She was constantly worried about them. And one day she decided, you know what? I'm going to stop worrying about my sons, and I'm going to pick one stranger every day. And I'm going to go up to them, and I'm going to ask them what I can pray for. And then she wrote a book about this experience.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was just amazing, story after story of perfect timing and people, looking for signs and asking God for someone to reassure them that, everything was going to be okay. And it's just beautiful. So anyway, I'm on this plane reading this book, and this guy comes on the plane and he's furious. And he turns around and he yells at the flight attendant, right? She's trying to get him to put his bag up in the overhead bin so we can leave because he's late and keeping everybody holding the plane up. And he turns around and yells at her and he goes, "I just got fired." And so I looked up and I thought, okay, God, here's my stranger.
Yeah. A very unique one at that.
Let's put this into practice. And so I did. I said a quick prayer and I said, I don't know how and in what way, but can you just please turn this man's day around? Like, have him leave this plane just smiling and laughing, right? Because at that point, that was a miracle. I mean, compared to where he started. And so I went back to my book, and kind of out of the corner of my eye, I saw this girl, and she was about 14, 15.
Mhm.
And I saw her take out a piece of paper and start writing. And then I saw her pass this note over to the guy, the angry man. And I was doing one of these, trying to read over his shoulder because I was sitting behind him to see what the note said. And literally all I could see before I awkwardly fell back into my chair was, "I know you don't know me, but." And
Wow.
I tell you what, within minutes, this man was talking to the guy next to him, sharing about what happened, and literally left that plane smiling and laughing,
Wow.
in tears at times from the
Yeah.
emotion of it.
I mean, tough times, man. Tough times can really, it can test you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then too, you guys, I mean, that little girl writing that note, whatever she wrote.
Yep.
I mean, and everybody on the plane or the guy next to him on the plane that we end up talking to, that's big, because sometimes people are really close to making a decision
Yep.
that they can't undo.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just kind of guessing here, but I'm thinking if you're running late to get on a flight, and then the first thing out of your mouth is, "I got fired," I can see where that could possibly make for a long flight,
Yeah.
to say the least. So
And saying that prayer and then watching what happened afterward.
yeah.
Right. And realizing it was like an instant message response.
Yeah.
And I made the joke that, well, maybe God got it faster because I was in the sky, right?
Well, that's one way of looking at it.
And I often thought about that and the power of prayer and how God can use all of us as earth angels, right? And how he used that little girl to make a difference in that man's life. And
well, I just, like I say, I always try to look at it from a perspective of, being positive can't hurt. A lot of people say, well, it doesn't solve all your problems. Like, well, probably not. But stress ain't gonna solve them either, So I really think it's important to try to stay as positive as you can. I mean, I understand sometimes it's hard, but I'm speaking from personal experience now. If I don't stay positive, I don't like how my day goes.
Yeah.
I don't like the energy that I provide to others. I don't like how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can laugh about something, anything, and it'll just make me feel better on the inside. It don't fix no problems, but it lets me calm myself to where I can deal with whatever problems I may be faced with.
Yeah.
So I think positivity is just the key, and I just don't think it gets enough attention. But as long as I have an opportunity to talk to people and to, say, be social media, this radio show, or whatever, I'm going to continually put positive out there.
I did some personal development in the past. And one of the things that I learned is we kind of look at things a little bit differently. So here, I'll explain what I mean by that is if we want to get in shape, right?
Mm-hmm.
First thing we think about is, what do we need to do? Right? We need to eat healthy. We need to work out, right?
Right.
To do the things.
Right.
And then we'll have the result we want, and then we'll be happy, right?
Correct.
That's how we live our lives, is it not?
Yeah.
Right.
That's pretty much it.
And so they challenged us in this personal development seminar to say, well, what if we don't focus on the things we are doing, but we start focusing on how we're being first? Because if you decide how you're going to be, then that will make you take different actions, which will give you different results.
Okay.
And when you're thinking about being positive, right? You decide, I'm going to be positive today. You're going to do and say things differently than you would otherwise, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And then your day is better.
I don't know how to really explain that because, I have a lot of people that send me personal messages, and a lot of them, I think they're just maybe having a bad day because the one question that comes up so much to me is, how can every day be another day in paradise? And I'm like, dude, that's just how I choose to look at it. I'm not saying that, the world's perfect. I'm just saying I can't control certain things, but what I can control, I choose to deal with it in a positive way, the best I can.
There's a book called The Happiness Equation. I'm about halfway through it right now. It's really good. But one of the things they talk about in there is specifically remember the lottery. And originally when I saw it, I'm like, what does the lottery have to do with happiness?
Right. Yeah. You never win it.
And the lottery they were talking about is being alive.
Ah.
And the miracle of that.
Right.
And just remembering the lottery is remember how, amazing it is for you to be alive.
That's a very interesting point because, I'm so appreciative of the things that I think a lot of people take for granted, but that's probably due to the trials and tribulations that I've been through. But I mean, when I wake up, that's the first thing out of my mouth. Thank you. Thank you for another opportunity to see another day. I look at things a little different from most people, but I'm very appreciative of some of the simplest things that a lot of people just take for granted. I mean, taking a shower, putting on some clothes, feeding yourself, walking to the front door or whatever. I don't take that. I mean, there's a lot of people that struggle with those things.
Yeah, and it's a decision you make every day.
Yeah, and the fact that I get to get up, first of all, is a blessing, and then I get a chance to do what I do, and I can pretty much do it without anyone else's help. That means a lot to me because I've seen people dealing with medical issues, health issues, and I mean, it could be much worse.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bach, I got a quick question for you.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go sell some power tools?
Sounds like there's some money to be made.
Well, I tell you what, Bach, we better stick with the radio, man, because I don't like my skills in selling power tools. Like, first of all, you got to know something about power tools, and I know nothing. I can't fix anything.
What's funny is I joked with my friend that I knew it was time to go when you could hand me a box, right? A power tool box. And just by closing my eyes and feeling the weight and shape of the box, I could give you the model number. That's when I knew it was time to go.
Yeah, you've been at it for a minute. Yeah, you've been at it for a minute. If you can do that, yeah, you got skills.
You know what, though? That was a huge blessing in my life. And I met so many amazing people through that journey and really helped me develop tough skin. You can imagine being a female on a job site.
Oh, absolutely.
There were some interesting looks and things
you
that
probably heard some interesting comments too.
Yep. But I always lived for that moment where their eyes changed. They go from what's this girl doing here to, oh, that's what she's doing here.
Yeah.
She's actually here to provide value and
she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah. And that was I loved that.
Yeah.
That moment.
But I tell you what, I'm proud of you. I mean, I'm just proud of you for everything that you had to go through to get to where you are, and I just want you to keep doing that.
Thank you.
Yeah. And this filming stuff that you do,
yeah,
you're going to have to tell me a little bit about that. Do we have a little time here?
Yeah, we got a few minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about what you do with the with your brother?
Yeah. So Landon started Grindstone in 2018 officially.
Okay.
We've been doing it as a side hustle a little longer than that. But
Okay.
I like to say I was on the silent board of directors early on.
Okay. I got you.
But it's what's funny is I'm the older sibling, 3.5 years older than him, and we used to play this game called Servant. So I was the queen, he was the servant, and I would tell him, "Go get me a glass of water, go get me a book," right? And he was little enough that he thought it was fun, and so he'd play along. And eventually he'd say, "Well, do I get to be the king?" And I'd distract him with a different game. And so
that's funny.
It's funny now, he started Grindstone and here I am, helping him bring this thing to life. And so it's kind of come full circle and my servant moment has come.
So he is now the king.
He is the king.
That's all right. But that's okay. It's for your brother. So
we love it. We're really blessed to be able to work together and talk a little bit more about that after the break.
Okay. Well, hey, look, don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. This is the 93.7 ticket is to get you happy on hour. Y'all stay with us.
Seven the ticket.
Okay. Playing 93.7 the ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the light.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thank you, Alexa. You're my best friend.
The Empire brand is growing with ESC fabrication and sandblasting. ESC is your place for custom handrails, industrial and commercial painting, and more. ESC provides custom welding for aluminum and stainless steel and media blasting of all sorts. ESC is great attention to detail. They stick to deadlines and keep within your budget. If you can dream it, they can make it. Contact ESC Fabrication and Sandblasting in Waverly today at 531-207-9329.
My husband and I love to live in Nebraska.
It's the good life.
We always vacation here.
Love those Nebraska state parks.
We love to eat here.
Where are you going to get a better steak?
And we love to play here, especially Nebraska Pick 5 from the Nebraska Lottery. It has a $50,000 starting jackpot, drawing 7 days a week, and all the proceeds go back to our state.
Hey, honey, this weekend, let's buy some Nebraska Pick 5 tickets, go to a state park and grill some steaks.
Like our first date.
I'm no amateur.
Top prize odds 1 in 501,000. One of the Nebraska Lottery's most explosively fun promotions is back. Cash Blast. Until April 18th, buy a 2x2 ticket, enter the voucher number, and you could win $5,000 or $500. If your winning voucher is from a 7-day draw ticket or a multiple of 7 ticket, your prize is doubled. There will be 7 weekly drawings and 14 total winners in Cash Blast. So play today. You'll have a blast. But that goes without saying. 2x2 top prize odds 1 in 105,000.
Hey guys, this is Lindsay Teal from Nebraska Golf Team. Imagine golfing the best courses in the world. St. Andrews, Pebble Beach, Southern Hills, the best of the best. You can play those courses and more without ever leaving the city of Lincoln at Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle has the city's best golf simulators, 5 high-quality bays that track ball speed, launch angle, club speed, spin rate, and more to give you the most accurate gameplay. Check it out for yourself round. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70 Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Hi, Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it is Truck Month at Koppel, and we are pulling out all of the stops for this gigantic event. The lots are starting to fill, and we have some great deals for you waiting in Louisville. Brand new GMC Sierra light duty and new Silverado light duty trucks. All trim levels have up $4,000 in discounts. That's right, up to $4,000 off all new light duty trucks right now at Koppel. So do not wait. Now is the time to buy a new truck. So stop on in or visit us online at koppelcars.com. You must have a trade-in and finance with Koppel. All deals with approved credit.
Spring is here. It's time to get back outside and into proper shoes this year.
Brown Shoe Fit is the place to buy this spring with their sale on athletic shoes. Get $10 off any athletic shoes $105 and under, and get $15 off any shoe over $105. Choose from respected brands like Hoka, Brooks, New Balance, On, and 361 Running. And don't forget the trendy Hey Dudes. A new shipment just arrived for the season. Start your spring off right at Brown Shoe Fit, just south of 66 and Q in Lincoln.
Forget the lame excuses this year. Your boss already knows why you can't make it to work. Join 93.7 The Ticket on Thursday and Friday, March 16th and 17th at Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O for March Mayhem. Come early on Thursday to get a ping pong ball with a lucky team on it. And stay all day for prizes throughout and buzzer beater upsets. And Friday, enjoy green beers for St. Patrick's Day and day 2 of the NCAA tournament at Buffalo Wings and Rings, 68th and O. Back to the Get Your Happy On Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, we back. We're back to the Get Your Happy On Hour on 93.7 The Ticket. Man, look at here. I got to ask 2 people that magic question that we ask every week. And I'm going to start with Bach. Last time I asked Bach this question, he kind of just skated around. He didn't really give me no answer. So we're going to try him. We're going to give him another opportunity. Bach, what does Bach do to get his happy on?
Well, I think I like to play basketball. I play a lot of pickup basketball. It's just amazing to me once I get out on the court. And, I'm not that good. I was not a great athlete, but I like sports. Obviously, that's why I work here. And it's just fun because once you're out there and you're playing and the score is 7-6 or whatever, that's what you're thinking about. You're not thinking about stress at work or, stress at home.
Right.
So it's just, it's a nice way just to get away and, compete and just have fun.
Well, see, Bach, I'm one of those fair weather golfers.
Oh, yeah.
My skills are terrible. But when I'm out there, I think I'm good. Even though I spend more time looking for my ball than I do actually playing it, but I still think I'm good at it. Yeah. So whatever, man. I mean, I don't think there's no one certain way anybody can get their happy on. So if getting your hoop on, if that makes you feel good, I'm all right with that. I like that answer better than the one you gave me last time I asked. So that's cool. Now I got to ask, on the farm, since you can't sell tools on the farm, what does Jenna do to get her happy on?
Lots of different things.
Okay, well, share them with us.
So I feel very fortunate to absolutely love what I do with my brother. So at Grindstone, we do marketing videos for companies, primarily. And, what I love about that is I get to be the one behind the camera asking the interview questions on set.
Oh, so this is a little role reversal today.
Okay. Very much so. And I think really what it boils down to is I love telling stories and helping people tell their stories. And if I'm doing that, whether it be with Grindstone and video or writing custom poetry for someone through Legacy Lines, that is something that I also do. And then even writing music lyrics.
Wow.
At the end of the day, it comes down to telling people stories.
So that's how you get your happy on the farm, huh?
I also love to golf. I golf on Wednesdays
What?
in the summer, Ladies League.
You're probably good, though, aren't you?
I'm okay.
Yeah, see, that's when they good. When they say I'm okay, that she can play. So I'm gonna have to avoid you on the golf course too, because you're not gonna make me look that bad out there. Because I play with these red Callaways.
Okay.
And I carry a Sharpie with me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I put hashtag number 7.
Oh, there you go.
So the minute it goes way left or way right, it becomes an instant donation and a souvenir for whoever finds it. Because I'm not looking. I'm not looking for it. I got a bag full of balls, so I don't have to spend a lot of time looking for them. I mean, but I love the game.
I have a funny golf story for you.
Share it with us.
I was probably 14 years old, and I was using my mom's clubs, and I didn't have a golf glove on at the time. My hands were sweaty, and I was using her pitching wedge near a lake, and I pitched that wedge all right into the middle of the water. And they sent divers in after it, and they found the club, and they found like 162 golf balls.
Well, they probably found one of my red Callaway.
Come out to Friend, Nebraska. That's our home course. So
Well, I'll tell you what. Now I will come out and play.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You invite me out. I'll come out there and. Now I hope it ain't a lot. Do you have a lot of water on a lot of holes?
Not too many. Yeah.
Because something about it is psychological for me. Yeah. I mean, when I see water,
like a magnet.
I feel like I got to swing harder, and my ball goes right in the water every time. I mean, I don't know what that is. I should just pretend there's no water, then maybe I could keep it close to the fairway.
Have you done escape rooms before?
What's that?
Oh, I just did one today.
What is that?
That's also how I get my happy on. Have you done escape rooms?
I haven't done them. I want to though eventually.
Oh my gosh! So
what is escape? What is that?
They lock you in a room for 60 minutes.
No. We're not gonna be doing that. But go ahead, I'm listening.
And you have to solve puzzles to get out. Mm-hmm.
No, I'll let you do that.
You're not actually locked in. Like, you can go to the bathroom if you want to. If you get scared, you can leave. But it's so fun. And it's just a fun way to engage your brain, make yourself.
So they lock you in a room,
and
you have to do a puzzle or something.
Lots of puzzles.
Yeah. In order to get out of the room.
Yep. Come up with.
Bach, what you think?
I want to do one eventually. I don't know. I just got to see what it's like. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm turning into quite the enthusiast of a.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna let you and Bach handle that one.
Okay.
And y'all can. I'll just take y'all word for it. All right. So what else? What else do you like to do?
I'm working on a movie script right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Can you share anything about it?
Yeah, absolutely. About my friend Erica. She was a Holocaust survivor.
Okay.
Yeah. And she was actually in a book about happiness. We originally met her in California at a retirement home where my cousin lived at the time, who was 96 years old. And so Erica happened to be in the garden, and we started talking to her, and she shared about her experience during the Holocaust. And then I found out that she had this memoir that was never published. And so she let me make a copy of that. And now I am writing a script based on that memoir.
Wow. So you're going to make a movie about this?
Yes. I want it to be a feature film, and I want it to inspire millions of people, because despite all of the horrible things that she went through, she still made a decision to be happy at the end of the day. And like, there's great power in that. And there's one particular story that's so beautiful with this. She was engaged at 17, and her fiance had to go to the US, and she had to stay in Hungary. So they wrote letters to each other, and the letters stopped coming because of the war. So both of them had thought the other had moved on. And so they did. They met other people and went about their ways. 57 years later, her husband ends up passing away, and her friend sees her old fiance at a party and said, "Bob's still alive." And so they end up getting together and get married 57 years later after they got engaged. Man. But get this is the part that gives me goosebumps. So after the wedding, they were going through their things, and they found one of those letters that he had written to her back when they were 17. And he said, "I had the craziest dream last night." This is a letter written in 1939. In my dream, we were getting married, but we were in a hall full of old ladies, and you weren't wearing a wedding dress. And described their wedding to a T that happened 57 years later in the letter he wrote to her in 1939.
Oh, man. Wow.
So
wow.
You talk about the power of fate.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm,
wow.
Speechless.
Yeah, that you can't make that up.
No. And I think the world needs to know that. And there's just so much more even beyond that part of the story that I think people need to hear. And it's that no matter what you go through, you have a choice.
I like the fact that there are positive stories,
Mm-hmm.
because we get a ton of the stories that aren't.
Yeah.
So that you keep doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Keep putting those positive stories out there.
I will do my best.
Man. But I got this thing about getting my happy on, but it ain't no secret to nobody, but I still want to share it. Every day that I'm blessed to see is another day in paradise. So music is very important to me. And keep in mind, my music is not the current music. My music is older music that a lot of people don't even know about. But it's the music that I grew up on, and it makes me happy. And it even convinces me that I can dance. And everybody know I can't dance. But when I'm making my little videos, I do these little get you have your own videos on social media. Man, I think I be getting down. But
Absolutely.
in reality.
What's your favorite song?
Well, I got several, but I'm a big DJ Quick fan. I'm a big Tupac fan. I'm a big DMX fan. So I got these kind of songs. You know, I usually had to get the instrumentals. I had to get the instrumentals because I don't think the lyrics would be appropriate. But, you know, it's no knock. It's just that I like the music. Yeah. You know, it's not necessarily what they're saying. I just like the music, you know. So, hey, thank you again. Really, man, I really appreciate you coming down and being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, not a problem. And a big shout out to my boy Bach coming through for me, man. I appreciate you, man. You keep doing big things. Hey, everybody, I just want y'all to know that we will be back next Sunday, same time. And I really do appreciate you guys tuning in. We just trying to make people smile, man. And just remember, every day you blessed to see, it truly is another day in paradise. And you got to get your happy on. Y'all take care.